My people, Mr. Martin 45 back with another video, man. And today's video is pretty simple. Trying to get all my parts tightened up, all my interior buttoned up and ready for whenever Corvette comes back for paint. Try to get y'all some of that footage. I don't know if it'll be in this video, maybe in the next one. But my guy's going to work, man, which again, the initial plan was get it in there. I was trying to take that side molding off, but I was running into issues with that. So aside from running into issues with that, I talked to him and was just like, yeah, man, I was trying to get some of the stuff off, was having issues with getting it off. Broke the molding on the passenger door, had to replace that. Again, it's about 70, 80 bucks. It's like, bro, I'm not trying to replace all this, so I'm gonna leave it. It's like, yeah, we can get it painted, you know, around that, whatnot, start prepping it, and then he started going in. So when I say he started going in, the last footage that I got from him, there was no front bumper, there was no rear bumper, took my doors off, and he was also talking about taking off my hood, and he was talking about trying to get those molding pieces off of there, so therefore, it's like, yeah, man, we're gonna try to get it done right. So it's taking a little bit longer, but it's one of them things to where you would rather take a little bit more time and have it done right versus having it done fast and having a little bit of regret or having to touch up some things. But like I said, man, today's video, like I said, as you can see behind me, got my headliner up here, a few of my other panels, and what I've been doing to these is any of the material that has been coming loose, or even if it hasn't been coming loose, just trying to make sure stuff is tight and that I don't have to take anything off. I can just throw the stuff up in there, throw my screws in and be done, and this be the final install of my interior and not having to do anything else outside of weather strip. Still got to order that, so I'll be ordering that pretty soon. But as you can see, all my parts are done up here. Of course, this is the part right that goes right in front of the piece of the trim that goes right in front of the windshield. Of course, my pillar posts are up there, and then the back pieces here that go back behind the seat. So all of those are done. Of course, headliner's done. Still have a bunch of extra material, suede. Of course, the red that I went with the headliner, and of course the black suede that I got, which I may use that on some of these door panel pieces where I have to fix and tighten up from where I had my door panels done. Again, I'm not gonna put the business out there. Again, if you watch the video, you know where you are. Just one of them things, man. If you know you're not going to like it or you're going to have an issue with it, your customer's going to have issue with it. Like this here, like how you can see the perforations from where the fabric was sewn together, and I guess it didn't come together right, so pulled it, and it was the same thing up here. That's why I had to put this piece here, because this wasn't here when I picked it up. So you were going to be able to see all of these holes up here. So that's why I had to put this piece on here, which I think in some of these areas that I had to cover up like this, I'm probably going to pull this. And now I'm kind of glad that I went with this black suede, or I have this black suede, because I think I'm gonna go with this suede in some of those areas. And of course, they're making all the noise outside cutting the grass, so I'll be right back. All right, so as I was saying, get that suede on these door panels, get those touched back up, and get those ready for when I reinstall the interior. Also getting all my other parts together, all the parts that I bought brand new, which some people do, some people go back with the old parts, but man, I've been replacing a lot of these older parts, which again, the car's 30 plus years old, so a lot of these parts are going to be brittle and old anyway. So I'm just getting all my screws, all that other kind of stuff in order, because a lot of the screws that came out, I'm not using those. I'm replacing a lot of those too, which I said in my previous video, I bought all new screws. Of course, it tells you where everything goes, and it comes with pretty much everything, where the rear speakers go, the bezels, the glove box hinge, the shift plate, pretty much everything. Pillar posts, mirrors, door speakers. So I'll be replacing all of these. So it gives you the groups, and then once you have the groups, and you of course have all of the screws. So group 6 was the, we got 4 long, 4 short. So it was in the windshield header molding, which that was the piece that I showed you a few minutes ago, that long piece that goes up around the top. So of course I got all those screws. Of course we got some LEDs, changing out all those light bulbs. We got some LEDs to go up under my hood, so I'm not putting those factory bulbs back in. I'm going with LEDs up under the hood when you raise the hood up. Of course I have my storage container bezels that go back there, and then these are all the parts that I just replaced as far as the window switches, the little plastic pieces that go around the switches where you either raise the windows up and down, or the door locks are the exact same. I think that's what I got these for, the door locks. So a couple of those in the box. Of course, these are my glass housings that go around where the lights are up under the hood. Didn't get these new, I just cleaned these up. Getting I used what a little bit of soap and water will do. There's no cracking, no chipping, no anything in those. So I'm trying to get all of this stuff where it needs to be, so therefore none of this stuff gets broken and I don't have to replace anything. Replace these parts, which of course these are the plastic pieces that go right above the windshield when you take the target top off. Both of them were cracked, like right around where the screws were. So of course I bought these, which of course when I bought them the first time I bought the wrong one, so I have 2 sets of these. The set that I initially bought was for a convertible, so of course that won't fit, so I buy these. Of course this is all of my material that goes when I put my visors back on. Pick that up. But these springs go down off in there, so I got those. Marked for which side goes where. So when I get my visors back on, visors, of course, here. Got those wrapped in suede. No, I didn't go back with the mirrors that were in there. Again, probably won't ever be using those, so instead of ordering some and having to wait on them to come, I already had an appointment scheduled with my interior guy to get my seats and my visors done. So he was going to rebuild them, and instead of having to wait on those to come in and have my date pushed back, I just had to go ahead and build them without them. So visors over here done. Of course my passenger seat is here. Of course the bottom part of my driver's seat, when I dropped it off at Payne, I just basically took the bottom cushion out, left the rest of the seat in, and then have it covered up like I have this one covered up, so I don't have any issues there. What else do we got? Windshield washer, squirt your fluid on your window, or on your windshield rather. Replace these because the one on the passenger side was broken, so I could only shoot windshield washer fluid on the driver's side. So replace those. Again, of course, more defrosting vessels, which these go right here on these door panels. Which this one was fine, but the one that went on the passenger side was broken, so I just bought both of them. So I'll be pulling this one and putting these new ones on there. What else we got? Of course, my bolts for my seat belts. All that stuff ready to go. So I got my seat belts in. Of course, got the old seat belt mechanisms back there, which the driver one is already in, but I still got to put the passenger one in. Not using the red ones, of course, I'm using the black ones. I still have to tint my fog lights down up under the bottom, which I didn't get to those, but I got to all the rest of them. I was able to pull all of the rest of them, but I couldn't get to those fog lights because, like I said before, Corvette or Chevy made it to where you had to take that entire front bumper off to get the fog lights out, and I wasn't about to do that. Which, speaking of which, I need to hit my guy up and see if he's already masked those up or if he's already shooting paint on it, because he actually took the front bumper off. So while he's working on that, I may go up there and get those fog lights and get those tinted while he still has the car in paint. But as you can see, tinted all my side markers, my reverse lights, tail lights, third brake lights, all of that good stuff. Get some of the stuff out of the way. So these are the other ones that I was talking about that I bought that were the wrong ones. Again, I've been telling people, hey man, if you need some, hit me up. I got these just laying around, but clearly nobody needs them, so I may relist them somewhere, get these up out of here, because they're just, as you can see, collecting dust. I wasn't going to use this third brake light on the rear of the car on my bumper. I was going to have him delete it, but it was going to be a little bit much, so I went ahead and tinted it as well. And I actually put the same kind of lighting in here that I did up top that has your, well, which you'll see once I get the car back. It's the third brake light that goes up top, of course tinted as well. Side markers, reverse lights, all that good stuff. You've seen one, you've seen them all. Back up here, of course, sand it down and resprayed my fuel lid, or this goes under the fuel lid when the fuel lid closes. So got all this painted back up, which it wasn't in bad shape, but I figured everything else is getting painted is going to look new, so I decided to go ahead and knock this out too. Of course, those are the pieces that go inside those door sweeps when you open the door. Haven't done anything with those. Those are actually still in pretty decent shape. I need to clean them up a little bit. They're a little dirty. Speakers sitting over here to the side. Get those back in when we get it back. Of course, rear view camera, go back in. Get that back in there. So, man, just got my parts all together and ready to go back in there as soon as we get it back. So therefore, all we got to do is put in the weather stripping, and we're ready to ride out, man. But yeah, man, majority of those parts I got off of eBay. Some I got off of Amazon. Some parts I order off of Amazon because I get them a whole lot faster, but the quality of parts sometimes is going to be better ordering from eBay because you're ordering from people who are actually parting out Corvettes versus remanufactured parts coming from these warehouses that may not fit exactly like the other parts do. But outside of that, let's see here. So new window, my sweep area that goes on the side, on each door, on the sides where the window rolls up and down. Got all of this stuff new. So I already put on the, hold on, let's set this back up. Put on the inside. So it came with both pieces. It came with the inside and the outside pieces. So I put, of course, inside pieces on, and these of course are the outsides. So the outsides I will put back on once I get the car back to paint. Yeah, so just getting things together. Here. Of course, my son's Range Rover. Get that washed up for him so he can ride out. Over here in the corner. Come on. Alright. So that way when it's ready. Let's see what else we got here. Of course, I have the box built. And what I'm doing is I'm running 2 6x9s in the rear, 2 6.5s in the doors, and 2 4-inch tweeters in the dash. My guy is building my box for me for my 8. Suggested running a 5-channel. That way I can just run a 1 amp and it runs, you know what I mean, powers everything. Mids, highs, and what's up. This is what I'm going with back there. It's a nice little massive 84S joint, same ones that I'm running in the Durango. So he's building me a box to go in the storage compartment behind the passenger seat. So I'll drop this in there. Having a little bit of sound. And got that brand new, of course. got that. So I'll be making another video for my caps come in. Actually found a guy on Etsy, which I said in my last video, that actually makes custom floating caps. So if you wanted floating caps for your rims, say if your rims didn't come with them, like of course mine didn't, it was a stationary dub center cap, which I had decided to take off one of my center caps, send it to him. He had to get imaging of it, 3D print it, mock up one. So he's sending me a test cap to make sure everything is going to work. Because I told him I'm going with these in the center. Of course, I ordered these beforehand, which I wish I had found this page first, and then I could have just ordered directly from him and had him do these on the center caps. But this is what I'm putting in the center of my rim, so it'll replace the Dub logo. It would actually have the Corvette logo on there. But he made the cap, so therefore I can put these on there. So these will be stationary, and these will float instead of the Dub logo. So get these put on. Order these two. Also got these off of Etsy. A lot of this stuff, man, I'll be throwing in the description, or if you guys are interested, hit me up in the comments and I'll drop this stuff in the description or shoot you the info where you can get these made. Somebody actually made these for me too, so I got all 4 of these. Also, got all fresh tips. Of course, I have dual tips on each side, so I'll be taking these to get installed once I get the car back as well. I thought about taking them before I took it to paint, but I didn't want to risk getting overspray on it, which again, my guy normally masks up everything, but I just figured, well, that way it's one thing that he doesn't have to worry about. Hence to taking out all of the interior, not getting these put on, and a few other things. Just less stuff that he has to mask up and worry about getting overspray on, and then I can get all of this stuff knocked out afterwards. I also had to order a new emergency brake. Forget what the hell you call this thing. Basically, lets the car know the emergency brake is on. The one that I had in there, this piece is broke. And basically, this is what the wire hooks up to let the car know, hey, no, your emergency brake is on. So, to purchase another one of these. Of course, it's not brand new. It's pulled off a car that was being parted out. So, another part trying to get together. Of course, I have this big Android stereo up here. It's the one that I was going with, like a 10.5-inch stereo. It's been sitting up here. May do a giveaway or something. Somebody interested, y'all hit me up in the comments, let me know, because it's just been sitting up here. So I recently hit my 1,000 subscriber mark, so y'all get at me, man. Been trying to do a giveaway here and there. Did one, let the guy know that he won. Nobody hit me back to try to claim the prize, so I'll be doing another one. Of course, all my folder plates, all that good stuff, and then of course this will be going on the front of the car. Y'all know what it is. Whole thing that I went with, for those of y'all who don't know, Deion Sanders actually had a C4 when he was in the NFL. His was black, paint mine black. I think the interior in his was black, even though I'm going red in mine, but I think when he had that one, if I'm not mistaken, it was when he played for the Falcons. So you kind of see what I'm doing there. Anyway, trying to get the rest of this extra material up, put up, get my parts ready to go in the order that I'm going to be putting stuff back in the car. So that's pretty much, man, what this video has been over. And also talking about the process of how all of this came together and how hard it was to actually do the work myself, because the majority of the work that I have had done to the car, I've done myself. I almost forgot about this as well. Got shocks that I need to get put on when I get it back as well, so I'll be throwing those on too. Almost forgot about this. My overflow tank for my antifreeze is cracked. So I ordered one of these. So I don't have to worry about it being cracked or cracking again in the future. So I'll be throwing this on when I get it back as well. Let's trying to make sure, man, all of this stuff gets replaced. The car is running like it's supposed to, or running like it looks, rather, because it's gonna look, amazing. It may not be everybody's taste, man, but like I said, everybody has different tastes. Some people that like to keep their car original. It just wasn't me. I was going to change a few things in the car, and then the more I start digging into the car, a lot of these colors are very specific, and I didn't want something looking newer in one area and then looking old in another, so that's why I just completely decided to redo the interior altogether. So yeah, but back to what I was saying a few minutes ago about the process of rebuilding this car myself. All right, man. So like I was saying, the process of completely doing this car and building the car myself, if you were thinking about doing the same, it's not hard to do, but it can be frustrating at times. Having to deal with trying to get certain parts off, trying to get certain parts back on, trying to get certain materials to wrap around said parts, trying to find replacement parts to replace parts that either aren't working, or trying to track down an issue with a part not working like it's supposed to. Case in point, still have to try to figure out why my heat isn't working. I know I probably have to charge my car as far as the AC is concerned and get the air back to working, but the heat was working just fine when I got it. It was actually working a little bit better than fine, and sometimes I didn't want the heat to work. It actually stayed on. So that's one thing that I still have to do when I get the car back, is try to figure out the issue with the heat. After I figure out the issue with the heat, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's really the only issue that and I have to see about getting the throttle body set the way it's supposed to be. I may have to get it tuned from what a couple of guys that were, kind of telling me, trying to make sure I get it set to run the way it's supposed to. For all my mechanics out there, it's running too rich. For the people out there who aren't mechanics, who don't know what running too rich means, is once I have the car running, you smell a strong smell of fumes. So therefore, it's basically the gas to air ratio on how much gas it's supposed to be giving versus the amount of air to kind of tell the engine, hey, you need this much gas, you need this much air. It's giving too much gas, so therefore that those gas fumes are higher than what they're supposed to be, which you don't really have to deal with that with newer cars these days, because you just don't. But you can run into the same issue again if it's not set right and it's running too rich. Anyway, that's the only other issue that I have with the car, is I have to get that fixed or get that set and get my heat and air situated. Outside of that, man, I've pretty much touched everything on the car. Everything on the interior, from the carpet to the seats, to the dash pad, to the padding up under the carpet, to all of the interior pieces. You've seen a lot of that stuff was replaced. Again, the car's not here, so I can't go over some of the parts that I bought new, like the bezel that goes around the stereo. That piece I bought new. The piece that is on the passenger side, where there used to be what we call a bread box, where it says Corvette on there, where the glove box normally is. Excuse me. Replaced that, which I deleted that and just went with that panel on that side. So got rid of that. Bought that piece new. Trying to think. Still went with the same door panels, which I thought about replacing the door panels and getting brand new ones, but a set of new door panels for that car is about anywhere between $650 to $750. So that's why I just had those reupholstered, which probably should have went with a different person, but again, I'm not gonna go back into that situation. The trim in the car, redid all of that. I'll be ordering new weather stripping on the outside of the car. I hadn't really done much yet, which that's the reason why it's in paint, which I kind of had been touching up certain areas where it was painted before my dad got the car, which you can kind of tell that they masked up the emblems around where they basically didn't take anything off. They masked stuff up and they shot it because there was buildup around where the emblems were. There was overspray around the edges of the tail lights, a couple of the other lights. Again, you can tell that they didn't take the side markers out in the rear when they replaced the rear bumper. Of course, they took the rear bumper off, put another one on there, which I knew that initially from the third brake light on the bumper. All the research that I've done, you only have a third brake light on the bumper, and you have a convertible. Especially being that I have a third brake light above my back hatch. So when I start taking all of this stuff out, you can see that rear bumper used to be maroon. I shouldn't have been able to tell that. They should have took those side markers out and painted all that stuff. But again, one, if you're doing the job yourself and you don't want to do that, you're not going to take it out. Or if you take it to a place like a Mako, you're going to have that issue too. Which again, it's been more issues with Mako than not. Here lately, I've been having more videos pop up in my YouTube feed of people who have taken their car to Mako, and it looks pretty decent. But again, depends on one, what Mako are you taking it to, two, how much you're paying for them to actually paint your car, and if you have a relationship with them to where it's like, all right, well, you're going to have footage of the job that we're going to do to the car, so we're going to make sure that the car is good before we leave. A partner of mine had a truck years and years ago that he wanted to get the truck painted. It was like a yellow with blue flames, like it was early 2000s. Went up there to go pick up the truck. They did majority of what it is that he asked, but it was painted the wrong yellow. So there's that. But anyway, not talking about paint shops. All of you, I mean, you choose to take your car to whoever it is you choose to take it to. I just would rather have my car done right the first time. Outside of that, up under the hood, man, I've changed fuel injectors, EGR valve, thermostat, pretty much everything in the distributor, cap, rotor, ignition control module, coil, all of that. I've changed a whole lot of stuff under the hood, and I'm still not done because I plan on taking the valve covers off, having those cleaned up, and actually painting those the way I painted the runners, which they're black right now, and I plan on trimming them in red to match the interior. But in a nutshell, I do it all over again, which I plan to. I actually want to do a truck next, which it may be a little bit. I'm gonna enjoy this build for a nice little while. It may be a year or two before I actually jump on doing the truck that I am looking at, unless I just have a deal I cannot pass up, which it may be one out there. I'm actually in a Corvette club, and a couple of the guys in the club have, a couple of trucks that may fit what I want to do in the future very well. So who knows? But as of right now, me and my wife are looking at pulling the trigger on purchasing our first home. So it may, like I said, that may be what pushes that back. Just got the car done. My wife's looking at getting a newer car herself, so it may be a little bit. So like I said, I may be enjoying this car for a little bit. Don't plan on getting rid of it unless I am made an offer I can't refuse. It's one of them things, how guys always say, man, everything's for sale if the price is right. Which I don't plan on getting rid of it, just mainly because one, it was my dad's, and then two, all the work that I put into it, kind of want to enjoy it, at least for a little bit. But outside of that, man, just doing this quick video, trying to keep y'all updated, keep the content pushed out, and just really keep y'all in the loop of what it is that's going on with the OC4, man. I think I got a little bit of footage of what my partner is doing with the Corvette while it's in paint. Matter of fact, like I said, I need to hit him up and see if he's already started painting it, so therefore I can go up there and get those fog lights and get those done. But yeah, man, till the next video, man, I'll holler at y'all. If I got this footage, which I feel like I do, I'm gonna throw that right here, and then I'll be right back.